Hello everyone, and welcome back to Lisa's Little Critters. If you're new here, if you would take a minute to subscribe so you will not miss my videos. And if you like my video, please give me a thumbs up. This is the sewing shop. I finally found a building that I liked for it, that had plenty of room, and I've named it Sewing Time. Now this was a Little Woodsies restaurant. And I just liked the size. The outside was brown, but I painted the bricks. It had that brick texture. And I kind of went with that tealish blue, marine blue theme. And I'm just going to turn the outside. Over here, if you know the Woodsy stores, they always have embossed plastic pieces. And I just kind of went over them with a little bit of paint. And in this case, I took out the sign that was here and made my own sign that says Sewing Time. And I put some flowers in the little flower box. And this side, there was really not much to do except to paint it and paint the little flowers. These flowers were not painted for some reason, and these were. I don't know why. But I like the way the brick came out. And now we'll go inside my sewing shop. All right, let me turn it. And there we go. Here is Sewing Time. It was a nice big shop, but it was absolutely horrible to take apart. There was a built-in stove and sink here. There was a built-in fireplace where the crewel yarn is. And it took an act of God to get it out of there. I had to use every tool in my toolbox and my little saw, Dremel saw, and everything I could think of to get it out of there. This is the fabric, and that is just fabric wound around a piece of cardboard. This piece I found, of course, in the Goodwill bin, and it was a puzzle box of some sort, and it just fit perfectly in the space. Up here, I made little baskets and put buttons and knitting needles. The thread is made around dowels. Then we have some quilt squares, ribbon. The ribbon was made around a special kind of bead. And then I have some scissors. I'm going to do a video on how to make the baskets and maybe show you how I made some of the other things. The crewel yarn is just, as it says, it's crewel yarn that I wound into little bundles and stuffed in there. That little shelf came from the bin somewhere, and I painted it. It was bright pink. The yarn is made around beads. I put the yarn on a needle and just kept going through the middle of the bead, and I think it came out really cute. And on that bottom row is two like quilts. They're supposed to look like quilts. Now here we have Miss Mouse, and she is getting ready to buy fabric. I'm going to take my little Mrs. Carmel dog, say hello, and she's cutting the fabric for Miss Mouse. And she's also picked out some buttons there. And I have the little measuring tape. This table was a Renoir table that I cut the legs down and painted brown. It was white plastic. I'll set her back and we'll go here. I used a thimble for a trash can here. And I used a thimble for the larger, this was a large thimble, and put the fabric around dowels to make it look like larger. I'm trying to get my camera to focus in. There we go. This is a little sewing basket that I had made years and years ago. I used to sell them. I used to own a miniature business, and I would sell some of these things. This is one of the Tuxedo Cat's dresses, and it is around a calico critter dress form. It was pink, and I painted it, made the sewing sign. And then here's another one of my baskets with what's supposed to look like embroidery thread. Now, my sewing machine, let's focus in here, is Renwall. And I painted it. It was yellow and blue and red. Little Carmel dog is sitting here, and she is sewing. I think she's making a quilt. I put the little shelf, there was like a little shelf there, and added these. This was a pack of buttons that I got from Joann's, and it had thread, hearts, and I'm going to pan over here. And it had this sewing machine button. It had these scissors. Wait a minute, let me focus in on that. Those scissors were a button. And then on the front of my sign, I'll show you, the thimble and the needle were also part of that little button set. And they sell all different ones at Joann's. So if, you know, they just make a nice little accessory to add to. Now, let's see. We'll take that off and see if we, oh, okay, there we are. But that is sewing time. The flooring, I used, again, that Dollar Tree placemat, because this actually, the lights out front lit up, and there was a battery pack right here where my finger is, and it was hidden by the stove and sink that was built in here that I cut out. So it messed up the floor, so I had to cover the floor, and I think this made an excellent floor. It's kind of like rubber, but I've used it in the road in other scenes, which you've already seen. So, alrighty, and then I've wallpapered it, and some of the wallpaper's kind of wonky because the walls were really half destroyed when I took out what I had to take out. But these shelves were part of the original building, and I was able to leave them, and then this piece fit underneath. Okay, I think that's all I have for today. I will be sure to make a video on the baskets and the ribbons and so forth, and show you how I did some of these things in case someone else wants to do one. And then the next video is going to be my Easter setup, and I have it all set up and ready to go, and I will probably be filming it later on this week. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Again, give me a thumbs up and try to subscribe so you don't miss a video. All right, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.